Marvel Rivals is one of the hottest games out right now, and of course, the woke are going crazy trying to get players' characters banned because they just don't like the content. Now, this is something that happens all the time, and of course, if they go through with anything like this, it'll destroy the immersion of the Marvel Universe they've done so well at creating. So far, this is a game that's like Overwatch, but with Marvel characters, and it's been one of the most popular games out there recently. Red Skull is the character in contention as players want this character banned, but it's complete hypocrisy because of who they're not calling to be banned, of course. It shows that they have no real moral standards. It's just the word Nazi triggers them more than anything, and it's so ridiculous. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here, guys. We're getting close to 50,000 subscribers. Really appreciate you for being there and supporting our channel as we call out all things that are happening in culture. My name's John Delarose, and I am a comic book writer myself. This is my newsletter, and I give you 3 books just for signing up. This is a great place to stay in contact with me. I love actually hearing from all of you, and the people who reply to the newsletters are some of my favorite. Really love that you guys are there, so shout out to you. I give you a fantasy novel, a science fiction novel, and a full graphic novel. I have a superhero universe, so if you like what the Marvel Universe used to be before it got ruined by all the woke stuff, check this out. Flying Sparks is on here. It's for free, and you can just get it just by signing up in the description below. Thank you so much for being there, my friends, and we'll talk to you soon on that level. So this is interesting, as NetEase's hero shooter Marvel Rivals has an extraordinarily successful launch, but the number of gamers are already trying to poison the well by calling for Red Skull to be banned from games because he's a Nazi. Yes, that's right. Marvel Rivals released on December 6th, and the game quickly hit an all-time peak of 480,000 concurrent players. That's huge. Its popularity has not trailed off as it hit a 24-hour peak of 460 concurrent players just recently. So people are staying on this game. It is a certifiable hit. They've crushed it, and it's mostly because of the character designs. If you start to look at them, they really did Marvel characters in a style that is really awesome, and people love it. And it's that simple because this is a game that basically, like I said, it's basically Overwatch, and so it's a simple concept. Everybody knows what they're getting into on the gameplay front, and so the designs just had to match what you kind of wanted to look at for a Marvel character, and they did it. Very, very easy stuff. And this this goes to as a warning towards AAA game developers who have been overcomplicating games, causing problems, of course, making designs that players don't want with things like Star Wars Outlaws and Dragon Age: The Veilguard. It's not that hard. And this is a testament to that. So you can see they had 10 million players in 72 hours, as they posted here. Wild stuff, and the designs are really cool. I love it. It's interesting stuff. It makes me want to play this game, even though I'm not really a big Overwatch fan, and it's not my kind of deal. So they started talking about this pretty soon, and this is a viral post that went out there. Feels like he's the one character who should never be playable in a video game. Talking about Red Skull. Zemo, I can kind of get behind, but I don't want to see the Red Skull as a Fortnite item shop. I'm aware that Marvel Snap and Lego games have added the character before, but those feel a little different, but still kind of weird. And this started a just tizzy fit of SJWs out there going crazy, saying that this character should not be playable. And it's just because he's a literal Nazi. And so bad characters are only playable, of course, if they're not literal Nazis. And so it's like, it begs the question is like, what is the difference? And so if you're playing a game of heroes versus villains, it's just a thing. And so it's not something that's advocating for, of course, the Red Skull. The Red Skull's a villain. Everybody knows that. But if you look at all the characters that they already have so far as Marvel Rival characters, you can get in here and there's some people who have done some bad things. And you can get especially into Magneto. Magneto is definitely been a genocidal maniac. He's advocated for the extermination of humans and against mutants, so he is definitely a one would call a racist bigot, and had caused the death of millions in the Marvel Universe so far. So if the actual like genocidal maniac nature of the character is what should make it something unplayable, Magneto should be called against as well. But they don't do that because it's just the word the literal Nazi that triggers these people so much. They don't have any moral standards whatsoever, and this is always how it goes with the woke. It's very, very funny. when you break down any of their sort of stuff, like whenever they talk about diversity and inclusion, they're always talking about trying to make things less diverse and less inclusive, as they're usually just trying to exclude white males from a situation. When they want to talk about something like this, standards apply to some characters but not others. And this is so silly as it goes along, and people get more and more outraged out by this. You can see another wrote, "It was super weird when Marvel Snap did that event and was like, are you Team Shield or Team Hydra?" And it was a picture of Cap or Skull. I'm like, bro, why are you asking people to join up with Red Skull? Do you know what he's about? Well, when you're playing a game of Shield versus Hydra, you're going to have to do that. It just is what it is. And some people like to play the evil characters. There's lots of Star Wars games, for example, who you play as Imperial characters, right? And you do play as the Empire, or you play as Darth Vader. Well, guess what? The Empire and Darth Vader is a allegory in the Star Wars films for literal Nazis, and yet nobody ever complains about that. Nobody complains in Battlefront when two teams are fighting against each other, because there is really no moral situation that's being made there. It is just two skins playing against each other. It's like playing shirts and skins in football. Nobody's really thinking about things. And this goes back to, like, even as kids games, you want to think about it from that sort of implication. Like there's game, kids play cops and robbers, right? It's not that the kids at that point are like literally wanting to be robbers when they grow up. That'd be a weird thing and would be very different. But I mean, I hate that I have to even explain this, but it just goes to show how stupid some of these woke people are on the internet. This is literal stupidity. It is that bad. And this is how crazy these people are. Why, if I may ask? Because he's one of the worst people in the world. Maine would unironically with glee and make it everyone's problems. Nazi attracts Nazi, ape together strong, because he's an effing Nazi. As you can see, these people are just like, wow, out of control, terminally online on the internet. And here's one. As a Jew myself, I would be very uncomfortable playing as him. Well, don't play as him then. I mean, it's very simple on that level. Some characters aren't meant for video games. He's definitely one of them. Again, I would give more credence to this. Like, if they had any actual moral standards, if they fought against the Empire being playable characters in games in Star Wars this hard, this would be one thing. If Magneto was given this kind of treatment, or Doctor Doom, then perhaps I might go, okay, well, I mean, at least these people are consistent. But they're not. They're the complete opposite of consistent. They just have just a term triggers them, and the term is more important than the actual acts, because this is how the woke operate. And that whole system of identity politics is just meant for stupid people, and that's why unfortunately, if you want to take it to its extreme, democracy is kind of stupid, because these people obviously are too stupid to be able to vote, and they're all anti-Donald Trump as well in the same way, right? So there's more. I'm sorry to tell you, Red Skull is in every other Marvel licensed video game. It's also playable in the ones he's in, from mobile games to the Lego series. And that goes to show, like, nobody ever cared about this before. This is just a internet outrage controversy that's made from an outrage-based post that went viral and nothing else. Very silly, but that's where Marvel Rivals is at right now. And the reason it's getting so much scrutiny is because it's getting so much attention because of the fact that it's popular, and that's all it comes down to. But most people are going to reject this and completely ignore it. And if Marvel Rivals and the company behind it has any sort of sense about them, they'll just completely ignore these people and never listen to them. Because when you listen to SJWs, that's when you water down your properties, you cause problems, and that's when the gamers start to tune out. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this, my friends. Are you going to be triggered by Red Skull or Magneto or Doctor Doom? Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my newsletter. Grab a great comic book for free, guys, and keep in contact with me. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for being there. We'll be back soon.